extra video in order to show that we can also plot our data instead of using a color bar, using the z-axis to our advantage, creating an actual 3D plot, which is sort of neat. I'm going to assume that you've already gone through exercise 5 and created these two columns here, the RA in degrees and the declination in degrees. If you haven't, please refer to the previous video. And to begin, we're going to click this cube up here. And notice that if you click and drag, you can actually interact a bit with the figure itself, which is sort of neat. It's real helpful to visualize the data in a more 3D format if the color bar is not doing what you want it to do for you. So we have the RA in degrees, the declination degrees by default, but again, if TOPCAT does not choose them by default, make sure that your X and Y axes are correct. And then we want the average velocity like this. And notice that we have one point up here with a very high velocity, just like before. It's sort of dominating how the rest of the points are distributed. And just like before, instead of all these being yellow colored, they're all sort of arranged toward the plane of the RA or the RA and dec plane, I suppose. They're all sort of smushed at the bottom here. So we can do exactly what we did before, where we looked at the axes here. Let's go ahead and, just for completion, flip the x-axis. And let's change the z-axis to log. Now we can adjust a bit more if we wanted to, the min and max, just like before with the color bar. For this case, I think what we have is fine. We can see that the points have much more distribution than just being all smushed at the bottom, which is real fun. Well, not so fun for the points, I guess. And let's go ahead and add some new labels here. Just like before, it's good to continue our plotting practices. I'll do this. Good plotting practices. Okay, and here, average velocity. You can also do v_av and then kilometers per second if you wanted. This is fine, I think. And then we can go ahead and increase the font size like that. It's already looking much better. Another thing we can do is just play a little with the shape and size. I actually prefer the points to have a bit of space in them, so if the faces are not colored like this, they're just sort of outlines of squares. It's a bit easier in a 3D plot, especially when the points are all cluttered together like this. But then you can see sort of where some clusters are forming. Not literal clusters, not literal galaxy clusters, but just some collections of points. I guess they could be galaxy clusters. I don't actually know. But yes, that's the idea. Just some collections of some galaxies here in our index space with the z-axis of average velocity. It's pretty fun. You also, if you wanted to download this, you could just do the same as before. The only problem is your image is not going to be interactive, so do the best you can to find an arrangement that you like, and it'll just create a screen capture almost of your plot. And if you want to create a title, you can also do that as well. Again, the formatting here, the layout's the same as it was with the 2D plot, so I'll just type title and it'll do the same exact thing, which is real fun. All right, that's that. Thanks.